This conference will now be recorded.
So yesterday, I shared you the new YAML file, right? I shared you the new YAML file. So which help us to create the respective WAF successfully, right? So instead of the old YAML file, the one which I have shared yesterday I shared the new YAML file. That one you guys need to, right? Useful for to create your respective, right? To create your respective, right? To create your respective WAF template. The same procedure, nothing got changed, right? What do you guys need to do? Create a stacks, right, with new resources. Use this respective YAML file, OSP top terms, right? Click on next. Go for the dev-stack or prod-stack, whatever the values you want to give, go for it. And then go with the default values here. Go with the default values here. Click on next and go with the CFT here, right? Whatever the admin role you have given for your respective cloud formation template, go for with it, right? And then click on next, right? Create a stack. So this will take 20 to 25 minutes to create a stack here. Let it create, but the same procedure here, the one which you have shown is earlier here, right? So this is what you guys need to do. Right? This is how you guys are going to create a WAF cloud formation with the help of cloud formation. As soon as you have created, go for the respective services, go for the WAF here. Go for the web ACMs. So now here, switch into the WAF classic. So switch into the WAF classic here. So you have created into the Mumbai one, right? As soon as you got created, you guys are going to get the respective WAF here. Respective WAF here. Am I clear on this? Any questions, any doubts? So this is what you guys need to do, right? So now here, this is how that application layer security you guys are going to be enabled. Now this application layer security, how it works and in what case you guys are going to get you, that will going to be discussed right now. So further, you guys need to create a, right? Further, you guys need to create a, right? Further, you guys need to create an application load balancer, right? An application load balancer. Also, you guys need to create a, right, respective application load balancers. Also, you guys have create a respective, right, the backend services to check whether the WAF functionality is working or not properly, right? Whether WAF functionality is working or not properly. That one thing you guys need to check. So we'll see how it works. So now here, further to checking the WAF functionality, like to check the WAF functionality, you guys are going to be install a Docker container, right? For that same procedure, you guys need to know. So click on go for the launching of the instances. Go for this respective Amazon Linux 2. Select T2 medium. Right? Select T2 medium, right? Because you guys are going to be enabling a Docker file. Select T2 medium, right? Because you guys are going to be enable the Docker file here. And then you guys are going to be T2 medium here, right? Click on the next configuration settings. Add the storage at least for 20 GB. You guys are running this respective one. And then add the tags. Name equal to, right? Name equal to, so name equal to WAF hyphen application. WAF icon application. Review and launch that respective one. Review and launch this respective one here. Let it create the right. Let it create a new key. Download the key. Launch instances. So now try to install your respective Docker here. Try to install your respective Docker. Try to install your respective Docker container here. So once before that it's going to be ready, let involve respective converting of the key of .pem to .ppk. So now here let involve the converting of .pem to .ppk here. Now here let's go with the WAF here. Click on the open. EC2-user, which is your respective username for the enablement of your respective connecting of your respective SSH. Connecting of your respective SSH. Connecting of your respective SSH. Right. So now here, let's install the Docker. Now tell me the commands, Avinash or Jiva or Uday, how to install the Docker actually.
It's an extra packages.
Yeah, you need to install the extra utilities first. Right. So that is one thing. Post that, what is the command to check whether your Docker has been successfully running or not? How many containers are running? Right. What is the command to check?
There are two things which
Docker ps minus a.
Uh-huh.
systemctl status docker, or then we can use
Hmm.
legacy previous one as well,
Hmm.
service command,
Hmm.
and then
Yes.
docker. If we are downloading some images, then we can use docker images.
Mm-hmm.
ps-a is for listing all the status containers.
Yes. 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 Right. Thanks. You spoke something. So now here I'm sharing I'm sharing this respective installation of Docker, right, commands. So, and also I'm sharing the install, how to install this respective Dockers here. So now here, so starting as Avinash shared, you need to use the start the respective Dockers start service Docker start here, and also you need to check the status, right? And here you guys going to be like enabling your normal EC2 install user to Docker group. So now here, you guys are going to be run a container here. Right now, you guys are going to be run a container here. So this is damn vulnerable web application to check. So web-dvwa, damn vulnerable web application. This is where you guys are going to be check whether your application has been completely using or not. We'll see how it works, whether the WAF is completely using or not. We'll see how it works. So now here, we guys are going to be use the command called docker ps-a, right? Docker ps-a, whether to check or not. So it is running on 80 of your respective port here, the host port, right? So now here, let's create an application load balancer. Right? So create a application load balancer here. You can call this one as an prod-waf, right? You can call this one as an prod-waf here to enable the at least for 2 availability zones. So, allow all the traffic over your respective WAF security group. So this is one thing actually, allow all the traffic for the WAF security group. ET anywhere from the IPv4, similarly HTTP anywhere from the IPv6. Create a security group. So now here, let's pull out this respective WAF here. And now here, create a target group for this. Right, create a target group here. So prod-HTTP here. So healthy threshold is 2 minus 399 here. Include as below this respective instance. Create a target. Right. So now here, let's associate this respective target group to here. Right. And create a load balancer. So let it take its own time actually to ensure that the traffic is going to be successfully corrected here. Let's see how it works. So let's wait for it. So now here, as soon as it's going to be enabled, you will get a website here. Once it got provisioned successfully, it will get a website here. Still it is in frozen state. So any questions as of now, guys? Any questions as of now? Would like to ask? Let, let it wait for it. Now let's still wait for it here. Still it is in frozen state. Let's wait. Now it is in active. Let's see whether you have an application walkthrough or not. It's getting the fine art for bad gateway. That means application is not responding. So one thing you guys need to remember, whenever the fine art bad gateway, this is due to the health check actually. So for this, the login health check that you guys need to change here is not over the slash path. I forgot to update this respect to health checks. Instead of slash, you need to use login.php. Login.php here. This is your respect to health check. This is your respect to health check. So let us check whether this health check is passing the target or not. Request timeout. So request timeout. Where was the error actually? Any guesses? What was the issue actually? It's getting the request timeout actually. Where is the issue actually? Any guesses, guys? Avinash, Uday, Pramod, Jiva. Any guesses here? Request timeout or any others? Mangesh, Rekha. What is the meaning of request timeout actually? What does it do? So any guesses? Where might be the issue?
So, sir, what was the file name? Login dot.
PHP. That is the health check actually. But here the error is throwing as request timeout. Where might be the issue? When the issue is with request timeout. I already told you this thing actually.
Number of seconds.
So now here, whenever you guys are getting the issue like request timeout or connection refuse, that means that does not port 80. Yes, absolutely, then you are in the right track. Appreciate it. I already told you, connection refuse or request timed out. The port 80 has not been open or the respective application port has not been open actually. That is the issue. Right. That is the issue actually. So this is one main important thing actually you guys need to, by checking the error, you guys need to get into an assumption that so this might be the issue, right? So now here, so now here you guys are getting into this respective application and the username is admin and the password is admin. Password is password here, right? Password is password here. This is one main important thing that you guys need to understand. And also create and reset the respective database. And also create and reset the respective database here. Once you have created and reset the respective database admin and the password here, that is one main important thing that you guys need to address, right? That is one main important thing that you guys need to address here. As soon as it has been done here, you guys need to understand about the, as soon as you guys are going to be done, you guys need to understand about the respective, so the respective thought process of how the WAF is going to be work. So where I need to enable this respective resources. Now, if I want to test the SQL injections, if I pass some kind of queries here, let's say suppose I pass any kind of SQL query, for example, this specific query if I pass here, it is, if you observe that, right, it has been giving the respective first name as well as surname. It has been giving the respective first name as well as surname here, right? So this is one vulnerability actually. So you guys are getting the username and the password for your respective database, right? You guys are getting the username and the password for your respective database here, right? You guys are going to be getting the password for your respective database here. That is one main, that is one main important thing that you guys need to address here, right? And secondly, you guys need to address here, right? And secondly, you guys need to address here, right? So how to overcome this respective getting the, like, whenever some kind of malicious scripts has been completely invoked, how you guys are going to be getting to the respect to this thing. So those areas you guys need to be ensure that, right? Those areas you guys need to protect it with the help of WAF. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to enable a WAF here for this respective application load balancer. Right? I'm going to enable a WAF here for this respective application load balancer here. So we'll see how it works here for the application load balancer and how the WAF is going to work. So now here, let's go ahead and go for the respective WAF here. Right. So here, so now here, go for the respective rules and go for this, add association of your respective services. Select the application load balancer here, right? What is your prod WAF here? You have selected the prod WAF. Add this respective resources here. This is the additional resources that you guys are going to use, right? This is the additional resources that you guys are going to use here. adding of the resources. Now I would like to go ahead here and log in into the respective admin and the password here, right? So if you guys are look at this one, right? If you guys are look at this one, if I want to enter any kind of logins, the WAF is completely going to give the forbidden actually, right? This is completely going to give the forbidden here. So now if I want to try to use the same query here, right? If I want to give the same query here, SQL injections, I'm going to give and submit. See, look at here. I'm getting the forbidden. That means the WAF is not allowing me to perform any kind of suspicious activities in my respective application here. So this is how the WAF is going to protect for this one. Right? This is how the WAF is completely going to protecting the respective vulnerability. All kind of vulnerabilities is going to be perfect. Am I clear on this? Any questions, any doubts? So this is how the WAF is protecting your respective application layer traffic, and the NACLs and security groups are going to be protecting your transport layer. Right? This is how it's going to happen. Am I clear on this? Any questions, Uday, Avinash? So this is how it works over the respective app. So now here, this is one main major security over the application layer, the WAF, where it will protect all needed services, right? Where it will protect all needed services. And secondly, you guys need to, right? And secondly, you guys need to, right? And secondly, you guys need to ensure that, right? And secondly, you guys need to ensure that how the TCP connections, right? How this respective TCP connections, right, are completely going to be, how the TCP applications are completely going to be invoked to your network load balancer, right? How the TCP connections are going to be completely invoked to your respective network load balancer. What is application load balancer? Which kind of traffic it's going to be enable this respective application load balancer? Which kind of traffic that application load balancer is completely going to be enable or ensure it will going to be serve this kind of traffic here for this respective application load balancer. Application load balancer, which traffic? Application load balancer is completely going to be serve the HTTP and HTTPS traffic within health check actually, right? Within health check path actually. Whenever, right, health check path actually, that application load balancer. What we going to do? Application load balancer ALB will serves only the traffic, serves the traffic, right? Serves the traffic HTTP and HTTPS and HTTPS. Whereas NLB, here, network load balancer will serve TCP or TLS, or you can call this one as TCPS actually, right? TCPS, TLS, transport layer security, and it is going to have the UDP here, user datagram protocol here, UDP traffic here. It will serve the UDP, and it will also serve with the TCP underscore UDP. So, for example, few of the devices, if you want to connect to the few of the devices actually, so those few devices are, if you want to get the output from the few of the devices, let's say suppose you have been some kind of network devices where you want to get the traffic, or some mechanical device where you have one of the software has been listening over the respective, right, mechanical device, right? and secondly, where your respective application load balancer is not able to get the respective health status of your respective application. Or for example, log stash service will listens on TCP connections only. So the applications which is listening on the TCP connections here, right? The application which listens on the TCP connections, which listens on the TCP connections here, right? TCP connections here, and completely which listens on the TCP connections. You need to use, right? You need to use NLB actually. NLB actually. One main important thing of the network load balancers, right? It does not require any kind of health check codes. It does not require any kind of health check codes, right? It does not require any health check codes, right? It does not require any health check codes here, right? Any health check codes here. That is one thing. It does not require any health check codes here. That is one thing. And then you guys need to understand about this. NLB does not have the right. NLB does not have the right. NLB does not have the security groups actually. NLB does not have the security group. So if you want to restrict the respective traffic, if you want to restrict the any kind of traffic, where I can restrict? Either you need to restrict the traffic in the NACL region, or just don't allow the traffic in the security groups. If you want to restrict the traffic here, right? If you want to restrict the traffic, either block the traffic or NACL level, right? Either block the traffic over the respective NACL level, or don't allow the traffic, right? Don't allow the traffic here. Don't allow the traffic here on security group level. Right? These are the two things actually. Right? These are the two things here. That is one main important thing. Right? So this is one main important thing here that you guys need to do here. So coming to this one, here you have an respective NLB here. Here you have a respective NLB here. So go for the load balancer here. So now here, if you observe that this respective NLB here, right, it will completely just sending the traffic over the TCP or TCP underscore UDP or the respective TLS or the UDP here. These are the only the four protocols. So when your application is listening on the HTTP or HTTPS traffic, right, you should adopt the respective load balancer, right? You should adopt the respective load balancer as application load balancer, right? You should adopt the load balancer of respective application load balancer here. That is one thing that you guys need to remember, right? That is one thing you guys need to remember here, right? This is how it's going to be happen. So now here you guys need to ensure that TCP connections should be allowed over your respective, or TCP application should run over your respective application. TCP connections run over your respective application here, right? That need to be served over these two instances. For this, you no need to record any kind of. For this, you no need to record any kind of. Health checks need to be enabled. For this, right? So now here prod -NLB here. Right, prod -NLB here. So now here create a target group where your application is listening only on the respective TCP. So as of now, whatever the application you have, I've been using the same application, right? So let's say suppose, for example, this specific EC2 instances, this specific EC2 instances here running with an application of 81 here, right? Where it accepts only the TCP connections, not the HTTP connections here. Where it accepts only the TCP connections, or right? That is one thing here. So prod-TCP for your respective network load balance. So here I've been opening only the connection port of the TCP or the HTTP traffic TCP rule here of 81 here. So for anywhere here I've been using the 81 here. Review and launch the respective instances here, the one which I have using right now. So that is one thing that you guys are going to be listening here. So now here, this respective applications, you guys are going to be completely, this respective application, you guys are going to be completely running with your right TCP connections here. So let me install, even though it's an Apache, let's consider this one as an TCP application that the one you guys are listening, working for your application load balancer. I will install HTTPD. Let's consider this the one which I'm changing for you as people. The application is running on right. HTTPD restart. So now here I would like to enable this one. Consider the present HTTP application. HTTP application listening on TCP. Listening on TCP. Like consider this present HTTP application listening on TCP here site, which is in var www HTML index.html here. Right, index.html and service HTTP restart. Service HTTP restart here. Right, service HTTP restart here. And then what you guys need to do is, right, and then what you guys need to do is service HTTP restart. And here, what you guys need to do here is, let's change the port here, HTTPD. So now here, listen 80 here, right? service HTTP restart. So now here, when I use this nested NTLP, the service is listening on the 81. Let's consider this application, even though the program you are using the HTTP or HTTPS. For our benefit of our respective class, let's consider this is your TCP. It will accept only the TCP connections, right? This application. Now I've been creating a target group, changing the port of 81. Health checks over the TCP. Traffic port is override with the 81. Right? It will listens over whatever the output you guys are going to get. It will go with the 81. Right? Whatever the application is listening, whatever the application is running, it will go ahead and check in the respective 81 services. Right? That is how it's going to be happen. So now here, what you guys need to do here is what you guys need to do here is ensure that suppose the health checks is 30 seconds, the interval it will go for it. If you observe that target group here is prod-NLB, create a target group here. So create a target group. So now here, view the respective load balancer here. It will take some time to get into the DNS here. So now if you observe that clearly, I have not provided the, if you observe that create tree, I have not provided the respective, right? If you observe the clearly, I have not provided the respective health check parts here, right? Health checks I have not provided here. Any questions you would like to ask me? Any questions you would like to ask me? We'll wait for a while till it's going to be happen. Still it is in provision state here. Now it became the active here. See, now here, if you observe that without any health checks, so whatever the application you guys are running, whatever the application it is, it will simply throw the respective applications to viewer, right? And it will get the output. That's how it works actually, right? That's how it works here. Am I clear on this? Any questions, any doubts here? So the NLB here only for the TCP related applications you guys are going to be using the NLB. Where you guys are using the HTTP here, right? Where you guys are using the HTTP here, those are into completely, right? Where you guys are using the HTTP here, those are into completely, right? Those applications are completely using the application load balancers actually. So that is one thing. So this is two main important things that you guys need to notice here. This is two very important things in your real-time environment, right? So now here, so now here, any questions guys here? Any questions here? So now here, you guys need to understand about the two main things actually, right? You guys need to understand about the encryption and decryption. What is your understanding about the encryption actually? What is the meaning of encryption actually? What is the meaning of encryption here? Uday or Mangesh, what is the meaning of encryption? What does it do? Avinash, Gokul. Encryption. What is the meaning of encryption here?
Just it will convert to some unreadable format.
Uh, okay. Or any other things actually.
It's like say for example, if we have some text or password, like we will be having an algorithm using that we will be encrypting that, like uh, for security purpose, something like that.
Yeah. So that means the plain text format is completely converted into the like encrypted format where the humans cannot able to read that specific data actually, right? So in the respective encryption here. So that's how it's going to be works, right? So now here in this respective encryption, so right, you guys need to understand about the right encryption as well as decryption will going to be happen in the real-time environment. Right? Encryption as well as decryption is going to happen in the real-time environment, right? With KMS actually, key management services actually, with the KMS actually, key management services. This key management services they're very important for your respective right KMS actually. That encryption as well as decryption of data in the completely right in the real-time environment, right? It's going to be happen with this respect to KMS actually. So KMS stands for in the AWS environment. It's a key management data here, right? It's a key management data, right? Key management data here. So here, this encryption is all of it will categorize this one as into the two types. One is with data at transit, data in transit, right? Data in transit, or you can call this one as a data, and the second one is data at rest. Data in transit and data at rest. These are the two different things. What is the general meaning of transit actually? What is the general meaning of transit actually? What is the meaning of transit? What does it do? Sorry.
Transfer.
Transit in the sense it is kind of a moving, completely is moving actually from one point to other point actually, right? So now here, the thing here is, now here, there are, I said the encryption is going to be happen in the two formats. One is data in transit and data at rest. Data in transit and data at rest here. So now here, red movement, right? So now here, in our question, so what you guys are going to be happening here, so now here, as soon as this respect to end user from his browser is hitting to your respective amazon.in, www.amazon.in. So now here you guys having the SSL certificate actually from his web browser to this respective hit of your respective application load balancer, you have an SSL certificate. That means this data in transit from his web browser to till the point it's going to be reached, right? Till the point it's going to be reached to your respective certificate, right? Till the point it's going to reach to this respective certificate. Here you will get, right? Here you will get as the certificate will completely encryption of your respective data. The certificate completely will encryption of your respective data here till the point it's going to be reach. SSL certificate is completely will going to be having here. So this is completely going to happen here. So now here, this certificate is going to be terminated till that end user is going to be reach, right? Till the certificate is going to be reach, this end user is going to be reached from this web browser to this amazon.in. The certificate is going to be, right? That certificate is going to be, the certificate is going to be terminated. As soon as the certificate is going to be terminated here, the end user is going to be hit to your from your respect to ALB2, right? ALB2 this respect to target group here, right? EC2 to EC2 to they will going to be enabled to the respective EBS. And here, if suppose you want to store some data, or if suppose the data has been need to fetch from this respective from your respective EC2 instances, or from your respective RDS, you call this one as a data at rest, because it's fetching the data which is already stored in your respective, right? Which is already stored in your respective EVS volume or RDS. So now this is the one with your the green one I can say as data at transit, and the red one is going to be marked to the data at rest. The red one is going to mark to the data at rest. You got my point, what I am trying to say. Any questions here? Any questions here? Now here, for your respective data at transit, right? Data in transit, you guys are going to use SSL certificate. Data in transit, you guys are going to be use SSL certificate here. You guys are going to be use SSL certificate here, right? SSL certificate here. Data in transit. If suppose data at rest, you guys are going to be using the respective KMS action. So now here this respective KMS you guys are going to be discussing. Am I clear on this? What I'm trying to discuss right now? Data at rest. You guys are going to be use respective KMS action. Right, respective KMS here. That is how it works. Am I clear what I'm trying to say? So this is one thing that you guys need to understand here. Nick? So now Avinash is there. Avinash is asking question actually not here. Okay. So by tomorrow we're going to be understand what is KMS and how does it works and how it's going to be helpful for your respective real-time environment. Right? By tomorrow. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time.